Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to my online class. I am Roxana Chaudhuri from City Government Girls High School, Chattogram. My dear learners, how are you today? I hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. Today, I am going to take a class from your English Grammar and Composition book and Unit 2 lesson 2, 4 and 5. In our previous class, we have discussed about from the same unit the tenses lesson 1, 2 and 3. So today we are going to learn unit 2 lesson 4 and 5, and the topic is present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. So please, my dear learners, take out your book, and I hope you will read the lesson carefully. So today our topics is, as we know that now we'll go to the slide. Our topic is present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. So at first we'll see the conversation from your book, textbook, page 32. Okay, my dear students, please open your book and we'll see page 32. There is a conversation, and the conversation is: read the following conversation and notice the time reference of the action verbs and the verb structures in the sentences. Teacher, have you done your homework? Student, yes sir, I have done it. Teacher, how many paragraphs have you written? Student, I have written 3 paragraphs. Teacher, have you brought your work? Student, yes, I have. So, my dear students, from this conversation, you will notice that each verb in the dialogue mentions a completed action. The action is over, but there is still some effect of the action now. These are examples of present perfect tense. So now we will know the details about present perfect tense. We use the present perfect have or has plus past participle to talk about completed actions or status which are still connected to the present, which means that the event or action has already been over, but the result or event effect is still right now present at the moment. It is still connected to the present. As for example, he has been to 10 different countries. I haven't seen her today. Have you ever been to London? In all those examples, you can see that at first we have used subject, then we have used have or has as the to be verb, then we have used past participle form of the verb. In all these actions, there is something in common, which in these actions, actions, effect is still present at the moment and they are still connected. Now, let's see the structure of the present perfect tense in case of affirmative sentence. In case of affirmative sentence, we will start the sentence with subject, then we have has or have. Depending on the subject, then we will use past participle form of the verb. For example, I have worked. We know that the past participle form of the work is worked. And why have you used have here? Because the subject is first person singular number. In case of third person singular number, as in he or she or it or any other singular object, we will use has, and all other cases we will use have. And then we will use past participle form of the verb. We use present perfect in the affirmative form to confirm completed actions which have occurred in the past, are connected to the present and still have effects on it. Now, the negative structure of the present perfect tense is quite similar to affirmative sentence. Since it's negative, we will add not after have or has. For example, I haven't been abroad yet. You haven't answered my question. He hasn't been home for 5 years. She hasn't found a new job. It hasn't finished yet. We haven't worked on a farm. They haven't seen each other for ages. In all these cases, what we have done? At first, we have used the subject, then we have used have not or has not, and then we have used past participle form of the verb. Okay, my dear students, now we will learn the present perfect in an interrogative form. Here, we will start the question by using have or has, then we will use the subject, and then we have used the past participle form of the verb. We use the present perfect in the interrogative form to ask about completed actions which have occurred in the past, are connected to the present, and still have effects on it. In case of interrogative sentence, we will use question mark at the end. Okay, now my dear students, we will know about the grammar structure. In case of WH question, what we will do? We will ask the question by putting the WH word at the beginning of the sentences, and the rest of the structure will remain same as interrogative sentence. For example, where have you studied for the exam? When has he bought a new car? Okay. Now we will know how we will form the WH question, and to form the WH question we have to add WH plus have or has plus subject plus past participle form of the verb plus extension and then question mark. In both these cases we have seen where and when that WH word has been put at the beginning. When we have used have or has, then the subject and then the past participle form of the main verb. In all these cases, if there is something, for example, object or complement, we will put that after the past participle form of the verb. Do not forget to use the question mark at the end. Okay, my dear students, now we have learned about the present perfect continuous tense. Okay, now the present perfect continuous tense is used to show that an action started in the past but is still going on. The structure will be have or has plus been plus present participle. Okay. Now, if we use present perfect continuous tense in positive sentence, the structure is going to be as follows. At first, we will use subject, then have or has, then we will use been, and then we will add ing with verb. For example, I have been reading, you have been speaking, he has been crying, she has been cooking. You have been telling, we have been sleeping, they have been skiing. In all these cases, what we will see when we have third person singular number as the subject, for example, he, she or it, we have used has. In all other cases, we have used have as the be verb. Okay, if we want to make negative sentence using present perfect continuous tense, it's very easy to form. We will just add not after have or has. For example, we have not been living in Germany. You have not been living in Germany. So it's very easy to understand. We have to use the same structure as affirmative sentence. Just the difference is, since it is negative, we have to add not. Okay, now My dear students, if you want to ask a question using present perfect continuous tense, you have to use have or has at the beginning of the sentence. For example, has she been sleeping? Have you been speaking? In all these cases, what we have done, we have used have or has at the beginning, then we have used subject, we have used been, and then we have used verb plus ing. And don't forget to give question mark. Okay, now my dear students, there is a confusion where we can use for or since in your past in present continuous tense. When you are referring to a time or duration for period of time that has been happening, you can use for. On the other hand, when the time referred to a point in past time or when the action began, we will use since. For example, 20 minutes, 3 days, 6 months. All these are referring to a duration for how long the action or event has been happening. For example, I have been living here for 3 years. So, this is a duration of my living. For this reason, I have used for. On the other hand, if I say it has been raining since Monday, that means the action of raining started or began on Monday. For this reason, since it is referring to a period of time when the action started, we have used since. So again I am repeating, if you have duration, we will use for. If you have the point when the action began, you will use since. So my dear students, I hope you have understood today's topic very clearly. Now it's time to give you homework. Today I am going to give you two homeworks. The first one can be found at page number 33 in your grammar book. So as you can see, there is some clue is given. You have to make correct sentences in the present perfect tense using the given words. The first one is, we start our journey. Reba wash her clothes. They buy a new car. She learned the lesson. He not come back from school. You take a bath. So, the sentences have not been completed. You have to complete them and rewrite them using the present perfect tense. Okay, now this is the second one. You have to do as your homework. It can be found in page number 34 in your book. You have to complete the following dialogue using the tense that should be appropriate here. Reza, how long have you been waiting here? You have to give the answer. So Reza asks the question using present perfect continuous tense. Of course, the answer must be in present perfect continuous tense too. Then again Reza has asked another question, as we can see a question mark at the end. And then Anwar replied, I have been looking for you since morning. Okay, my dear students, I hope you will do your homework in your home and will take a photo of it, and then you will send it to our City Government Girls High School Facebook page. So thanks to all. That's all for today. Stay home. Bye bye.